Let a few people come in here. I didn't have a title. The other one. You're saying that they got the video. I got another person that's got a video as well. Getting it off Discord. The gory one. All right. We got some people in here. Yeah, like I said, I'm not into politics, but there are some self-admitted isolationists out here that call themselves 1A auditors that have voted for Donald Trump. One being Liberty Troll. And he's a young man. And Charlie Kirk, this right here, they knew what they were doing when this assassination happened, and they couldn't out-debate him, so they murdered him. He had science and facts on his side. Nobody as a young conservative, I just know that YouTube is out there to the whole world, okay? And I know people come in and out of these, and they're trolling, and that's okay. I'm not even paying attention to those type of people. But what I am going to say is this. I'm not in politics. Put my hat on. I'm not into politics, nor do I care about the right or left. But as far as being a conservative, I am. I have conservative values. I know that there's something up there greater. I know that there's a creator. I know that he rose me from my deathbed and created people and put them in my life to save my life. I know that I have a calling on my life, and I know that when I'm ready to go, God will take me. Because he's the one, he's the giver. Just like today. It is what it is. The guy's gone. It's my opinion, he's gone. And I'm looking at it from everybody's point of view. And I warned you guys, all of you that were been paying attention to me, that there's going to be a war inside of this country that's going to shake it to its foundations. And that war is the woke and the unwoke. And the unwoke have put up with this crap long enough. And then they got a leader now that has backed up everything he said he was going to do, he did. And now you guys think the U.S. military ain't going to get involved? You're crazy. There are people killing white people. In the past 3 days, there's 4 white people that has been executed or murdered. People can laugh all they want, but on the other end of it, I'd hate to be you. Your worst nightmare is this guy getting shot right here over the reasons. It would have been better off if he would have tripped and fell and broke his own neck. Or somebody robbed him. You know what I mean? Somebody just rob him and murder him that way than to do this. Because what they did is they started a civil war. And the gloves are they're going to come off. When they're doing the forensics, and even Utah is very political. They're liberals. They joined in with Newsom to help change and rewrite, be the tyrants that they are, doing the districting the way they're doing it. I'm not into this right and left shit, guys, but I am watching because there's a lot of stuff in here that is been prophesized, and I've been watching it come true. My mother told me all this would happen and how it happened ever since I was 5 years old. My mother taught me this, and it all come true. That's why I'm a conservative, because down deep I have a heart. I care about humanity. I care about people that even people think deserve this type of treatment. I look at them and pray for them and say, God help them. God rise them from their deathbed. God heal them. God have mercy on their souls. I do that because I was taught to. And it's just a good thing to do. And I hate to see anybody go down. And that has been my message to police. Look what you do to people. You see so much bad stuff. And you've seen so much evil that you've allowed it to be acceptable, to give you an excuse to use a certain type of authority that you don't have, and disdain that fuels that perceived authority that you think you have. And you hurt people, and you're going to stand before your maker and you're going to burn in hell for it. You need to change. I'm not telling you to back off your job. I'm not telling you not to not do your job. I'm telling you to do your job, and do it with pride and dignity, and serve your people as you would your mother, your grandmother, your sister, or a woman, somebody weaker than you physically, strong. Help people, be that person that wants to make the difference with inside and bridge that gap in the community. That's what Kirk was. He was that man. Gen Z loved him. If you see all those people, those very diverse set of people that were there, you had Mexicans and Caucasians, black people, Puerto Ricans, but, Utah is predominantly white. So it is what it is. I know you don't. You could dismiss yourself. It's all good. If you don't care, just dismiss yourself. It's no big deal. I'll let me, man. I give everybody free speech. I'm just a messenger that believes in something. I have a faith. I have a belief. And that's what's awesome about the United States of America. Everybody can have their opinion. Just don't murder, don't rape, don't kill, don't create a victim. You know what I mean? All that other dumb stuff, leave that alone. If it ain't about money, it ain't about nothing. And this pissing contest that's going on between Americans, you need to get out of it right now. You need to rebuke, if you are the head of your household, rebuke these people in your house. And say, hey, that's not who we are. That's not what I taught you to be. Get along with people. Listen to other people's opinions, even when you know they're wrong, because you'll show them respect enough to hear them, and they know that you actually listen. And then one day they might listen to you, and you never know. It might just, a bulb will go off inside your head, just like it was theirs, and they'll learn. Because I remember when I was a Democrat for 27 years, I grew up, and I'm like, oh my God, this is just wrong. So I got out of politics, period. I got in it, but I was shortly voted for a couple Republicans, and I'm like, no, I don't like these either. Because I don't like narcissists. I don't like people that pretend to like me, and that's who politicians are. All 435 people in Congress and the people in the Senate, the people in the White House, they don't care about me no more than they care about you. But we got a country we got to share. And we got a country we got to protect. And yeah, you never know. By it, you never know if that's how you say your name. I was just telling my wife the same thing. It could be, assassination from another country to get us going. While we're all stirred up about this, they're going to do something. Don't be surprised if one of our allies gets attacked, or if something really bad happens in the U.S. Look, when it rains, it pours, guys. Hit that like button if you haven't hit that like button. I am a man that believes in free speech. I'm a man that believes in not hate speech, free speech. There's a difference. Yeah. Yeah. Dubs, man. I'm on a live stream, dog. Somebody tell Dub Wubs that I'm on a live stream. So, if you got something to say it, bro. William, I got a guy that's putting a video together where I'll probably do one after this. I'll probably do another live stream after this. And it's like the two people were just shot at that other place, and that CNN was talking about. I was watching that right before that happened, and then that poor Ukrainian woman. Does anybody give a crap anywhere in the United States? We're not talking about people out of the United States. Only if they got a heart and they actually care about, people, period. How their parents must feel, like, thinking like a parent or a relative of that person, humanity, not our sovereignty. Our sovereignty absolutely has nothing to do with this issue. Even though that's what it's been fighting over, is Article 8, that these lefties can't understand about democracy when they think democracy is something that hurts them, that affects them. That's what they think. It's only for them. Only their opinion matters. And if you don't believe them, all of a sudden you're a racist or you're a homophobe or a zomophobe. And you're being laughed right out of the building if you believe that. Just to let you know. You're being laughed right out of the building. Cancel culture is bye-bye. It's gone. And the people on the bottom, they stay old school and they think that, like YouTube and these, social media on the bottom, it'll linger for a little while, but you'll realize that they'll just die right off. Nothing left. Like Oprah said, they'll just die right off. Yeah. I'm sure they got a lot of things. But they didn't do it. They didn't do it because, they hate this country. They're doing it because they have an agenda. There's a world agenda going on. There's a world war around the corner. People need to get ready. If you ain't buying Whole Foods and canned goods and storing that stuff, I thought about it. I only bought a little bit, not a whole lot, because I don't know if I want to live like that. Who wants to live in that type of world? Who'd want to bring children in this type of world? This guy right here was a true champion of what he was doing. And he had every right to believe every word that he was talking about. And he had every right to show and break down and organically disseminate his free speech in the manner that he did. There are things that people are not going to understand, and I get it. And there are things that people just don't care about, and I get it. But at the same time, Americans really need to look at their elders. When you see a guy that's got some gray hair, that's not speaking hate, discontent, revenge, retribution, listen to him. He or she, listen to him. Because they might have something good to say, whether they're on the right or the left, I don't care. If they're talking in a manner of peace, harmony, and if you hear anybody justifying why people should be hurting each other, stay away from that. That's Wolvie's advice to you. I have like 21,000 subscribers. I have been an activist for a very long time. The people that really know me inside this community, knows that I'm a rock solid, I'm one of the four corners of eldership in this community that brings a little common sense to the table. Knowing everybody else has an opinion. Learning the hard way just like everybody else has. Arguing, fussing, fighting. But there's one thing that I was never doing that people that had bigger channels always used, and I didn't understand until I looked at their narcissism and I found out what kind of a narcissist they were. And it was the narcissist that the only reason why they wanted to be on top was the clout. It wasn't nothing personal. It was never personal. Never. So I realized, once I started realizing this is not personal at all, and these guys are apologizing to me left and right, and there's only a couple that haven't. And they said to me things that made sense from their point of view. And I could see where they could have taken some things out of context because of my behavior, my defensive response that was much greater than theirs, that was much better and much like bite that ass type of thing. Okay. But I'm not tough, and I never was. But I always proved that most people, you're not either. This guy right here, sitting here, chilling out at a university in the most public, one of the most traditional public forums there is in the United States, speaking, thinking that he still was going to go home to his babies and his wife. And he ain't going to now because of some rotten, jealous, disturbed, evil, wicked, deceptive, busted, disgusted, and won't be trusted, and will never have leadership again. Wait till you see 2026. Democrats, you're done. If you're a Democrat and you're voting, it's not even going to count. There's not enough of you. You can't get 10 of you together to agree on anything. You guys are going every which way but loose, when you should be every which way you can. You understand what I'm saying? There's a major difference. And I am not political. I got a big middle finger for that. I want America to be America again. I want to watch my football without listening to some type of right-leaning or left-leaning opinion. This is where it was proper. He was doing it the proper way. He had his own show and he had it on the road, and this is what he did. He didn't go to football games. He didn't go to sports, or he didn't go to comedy, late night central. You didn't do, you know what I'm saying? You did it in its own fashion. We just get so sick of this. And those that point a finger and say, this guy is what he is, whether they like him or not, it's just another opinion. And I'm reading all my chat. And I still got a smile on my face because there's one-fourth of these people are being whacked. Bob, I hear you. To the river from the sea, let Israel be free. How about that? The Jordan people stole that land from the Israelites back in the day. If you did your research. 68% of them, those Egyptians, you know what they are? They're Palestinian. They just didn't want them. That set of people. Why is it that the Arab people, think about this too, why is it that all those Arab people in that one little blue dot that they want so bad? Why is it that all those Arab nations won't take those people in? It's kind of like when you see a guy in a corner you went to school with and you know his whole family, and you look at him, you say, you know, he's got a pretty well-off family. Why ain't his family taking him in? Right? It's the same thing. Because he's trouble, he's a thief, and he's no good as a crackhead. That's why they don't allow him. They've allowed him in many times. They gave him many chances. What they do, they took advantage of it every time. And for every inch, they took a mile. And that's what's happening. You cannot condone, you cannot allow yourself to be influenced and to be taken by people that love you. They're the worst type of enablers, is the people that love you. And it's so sad. It's so sad, man. Yeah, Hamas is terrible. I just don't understand how. But that's not what this is about. I'm not talking about that evil piece of garbage over there. I'm talking about this really good person right here that I'm pointing at. Charlie Kirk, man. That did not deserve to go the way he did. And whatever you say as far as like being passive aggressive with him because you don't like him, well, I say look in the mirror and say that to yourself. If that's okay with yourself, then I'll believe you. But if it's not okay for that to happen to you, then it's not okay for it to happen to him. You hear what I'm saying now? Yeah, they killed him. It was an assassination, man. They murdered him. It's true, outlaw. But don't be fooled though. Remember, right wing, left wing. That wings are usually on birds, right? And a bird only has two eyes and one brain, right? And one beak, one belly, one pooper. Okay? Right? They've been together forever. It's just that they're fighting for power for dumb stuff. Really dumb stuff. And this is what, freedom, I mean, yeah. Freedom's scary sometimes, Like, even if you hate him, still have some remorse for many of those that vile and disgust and taunting the death. Well, I don't know why anybody would want to hate somebody that has every right to vote the way he does, that has every right to be nice, friendly. The guy didn't cuss, he didn't drink, he didn't smoke. Okay? People have demonized that type of behavior and says, oh, there's something wrong with you. Stephanie, how you doing? I haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you. Where'd your... I thought you were blue. Is that you? Is that Stephanie? Why is your... I never took that away from you. Anyway, I'll talk when I go look that up, Stephanie. I got other methods to know if that's you or not. I know you. She's like, I know I'm me. Nobody gonna tell me who I am. I'm sorry, honey. There's just these things called trolls, and they'll take your name and they'll think it's you, and all of a sudden they're giving a wrench to that person, and now there's two Stephanies. You know what I mean? And it's just so stupid. I mean, that's how far these trolls have gone to humiliate and to troll people, because that's what they do. And you're gonna see I'm going to tell you this right now. Some of the biggest people that you watch that are bullies, you're going to see some karma come back to them in the next 15 months. Starting today, you're going to see it. Those people that has bullied Caucasian people and all that hate and discontent that these woke people versus the unwoke. I'm neither. So I'm just an outsider looking in, and I know for a fact that none of this is justified. None of this in any manner, shape, or form is going to, I know that karma is very, very, very real. And it ain't going to let you get away with it. It's just not. You know? The world has its ways. That's a fact. What in the heck is all this? Here it is, okay. Enter moderators. Stephanie? No, I'm just going to go ahead and leave that window open. I don't know why YouTube took it, but sorry about that, sweetie. Take care of that now. So understanding the difference between right and wrong, and what people defined as wrong and what people defined as right. Hey man, I'm not here to justify, but I can rectify a few things through getting people to understand something, and maybe a light I'll click later, but like the word rebuke in itself, only an elder can rebuke somebody. Only a person that is an authority figure, like a father figure, or somebody that is in a community that has put these younger cops. I've been rebuking them for a long time. That is how you can use that. You cannot say a younger person rebuked an elder. You can't even use it in the same sentence, because that's the meaning of that. Only means an elder cannot be rebuked unless it's another elder. So anyway, there's a lot of things people don't know, and there's a lot of things I don't know, and I learn every day, just like anybody else. Why ain't you blue yet? Who'd I give a freaking... Who did I give a... All right, why ain't you blue? What'd you give it back or something? Huh. You're not blue. Did I give it to somebody else? Speak for me. Say something to me, Stephanie. She was just in here. Let me see if she's on the list. We'll just refresh that. Reload. Yeah. Hey, look, you're either going to understand or you're not. This is some weird stuff right here, guys. Advanced settings. Moderation. What the heck is going on? Huh? Settings. Settings. There it is, okay. Yeah, she's on here. You know what, Stephanie, until you come back in, I'm going to take it because I don't know if that's you or not. Anyways. You know, there's just a lot of people that don't even know what the word racist is. And anytime that I hear a person that calls somebody a racist, right, and then speak the most awfulest, hateful ad hominems that comes out of their mouth against a person that they think is racist, and they're using hate versus hate, and they're fighting racism with racism, you ain't no different. You're worse, and you have become what you hate the most. And that is something that we all have to watch out for, because we can become in any sector. Hate can cause people to do things, and the left-wing media, they have allowed that. That's why they call it cancel culture. They have allowed these people to get away with that. I don't know if you understand, but they made you cry wolf so much nobody gives up about nothing. They don't care. So y'all that's going around talking about me and mine's, oh yeah, it's going to be me and mine's all right. You'll see. New York is going to get exactly what it's got coming. I hope that mayor gets in that the Republicans hate so bad. I hope to God that man gets in. It's going to teach that side of our country a lesson that is a well-learned lesson. And you're going to know why it's good to know about what me and mine's is all about. Me and mine's is about me working to pay for this cup for me to drink out of. And to feed my family. And if you actually knew what the actual law was on disorderly conduct, do you know the first attribute of disorderly conduct is not taking care of your family financially? See, you would know that if you had some morals and values. You would know that. Because a lot of people just don't have no morals and values. And they don't care. These white kids running around here with their pants down to their ankles. Talk about being mine. God has been good to me. And what right now, we need peace. We need people that are going to talk without retribution. Now, I'm sure Charlie's family's like, no, wait! I want retribution. I want revenge! I understand that. I understand that. I do. If it was my wife or my husband, I'd feel the same way. I get it. I get it. But you know what? That's what separates us from the world, guys. Do you hear me? Hit that like button. That's what separates us from the world. Is from us to be able to calm down, de-escalate, take a couple steps back, and say, like in this situation, people are jumping to conclusion for whatever reason, and whoever it was, he was flat out assassinated. This is what an assassination looks like. Okay? If you've seen the video, you know that was an assassination. William, did they catch him yet? Did they make any change? Let's listen.
We're not counting gang violence. Great.
There's the sound. There. I'm not going to show it because YouTube will take it down, but.
So, do you know how many transgender Americans have been mass shooters over the last 10 years? Too many.
So they're talking about too many transgender people that were mass shooters. He said, do you know how many? He said too many. And I believe the right answer was, that was the right answer, but it could have been a little more precise. Any mass shooting is too many.
Do you know how many mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years? Counting or not counting gang violence? Great.
There it is. Counting or not counting gang violence. Them were his last words. Of course they're going to get him. And they're going to hang him from the highest, the highest tree they got. The United States Marshals are going to get them. And the federal government is going to take this case. And it's going to be tried in Washington, D.C. Watch. They're going to take jurisdiction.
This unfolded.
Or in a local. So those of you that are lefties, this is CNN right now. Let's listen to it.
Go look.
So, do you know how many transgender Americans have been mass shooters over the last 10 years? Too many. Okay, now 5 is a lot, right? I'm going to give you some credit. Do you know how many mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years? Counting or not counting gang violence? Great.
As soon as some truth comes out with the facts, they took him out. Didn't they do that to Malcolm X when he was getting somewhere? Didn't they do that to Dr. King when he was getting somewhere? Uh-huh. All too familiar. John F. Kennedy, when he got a conscience and actually stopped the Vietnam War so we would stop bringing in that opium, and the government did what they did and started another war in Korea. Come on now. Can I get an amen? Every time the truth comes out, what happens? All right, I'm going to change the channel. We heard what CNN said. Let's listen to Fox for a minute.
But who was willing not only to debate.
Now, this is a Democrat talking about Charlie, on the 5. This is
with him.
from his opinion. Let's listen.
From President Obama. Let me read it here. President Obama posted this on X. We don't yet know what motivated the person who shot and killed Charlie Kirk, but this kind of despicable violence has no place in our democracy. Michelle and I will be praying for Charlie's family tonight, especially his wife Erica.
Good job, good job for Obama saying that. We need leadership. This is where leadership comes from, right here.
Young children. Harold, before we talk to Paul.
Now, Harold is a bona fide Democrat on the 5. Let's listen to what he has to say.
In D.C., a big club on my campus is called the Government Club. And we're divided in liberals and conservatives. And frankly, I didn't fully understand what
exactly, Alexander,
the vernacular and what the political dialogue at the moment was. And I was president of the club for the liberals, and my friend was the president of the conservatives. We had some of the greatest conversations. Our friendship flourishes today. I'm godfather to one of his kids. We don't agree on everything. I would hope that
who does?
As an appreciation and a salute to Charlie, if you are around a family member or a friend or a coworker whom you have disagreements with, politically or for that matter on any matters, find something before you leave them this afternoon or this evening that you agree on and hug.
Now that right there is what I've been saying since I've been talking. All right? So we got a bipartisan people. They put their politics aside on the 5. Of course, Greg, every time he speaks, he's very political. I think he was the founding father of Republicans of his generation. He was pooped out of a Republican's butt.
We had some of the greatest conversations. Our friendship flourishes today. I'm godfather to one of his kids. We don't agree on everything. I would hope that tonight, as an appreciation and a salute to Charlie, if you are around a family member or a friend or a coworker whom you have disagreements with, politically or for that matter on any matters, find something before you leave them this afternoon or this evening that you agree on and hug. Let us understand the debate is good. I've shared around this table, when I was in law school, we'd have these great raging debates in con law and at the constitutional law. And I would take my friends that were on one side and take the friends that were on my side, and I'd have dinner. My dad was kind of about to dinners on Wednesday night there on State Street. And we'd sit, and the only rule was that if someone said something that deconstructed or defeated or undermined your argument, you had to concede. Not stop, but concede and talk about your answers and the things that you wanted to see happen. And we had some great discussions, great debates, and some of those guys, well, not some of those guys, many of those people, not all of them, remain great friends of mine. And we still have these conversations today. One of the things that exercise taught me, and I think one of the things that Charlie taught those who agreed with him, who didn't agree with him, he fought valiantly and with dignity, with lots of words and no weapons, and that should be the message today as well, is that if you're an active thinker, if you seek to be smart and seek to be informed, then you'll never be a static or stationary thinker.
There you go. Thoughts and actions, speaking, talking, making change, it can only happen one day at a time. And it has to happen through open and complete respectful dialogue amongst people, especially people that know each other. How can you say that you are a critical thinker and you know what you're talking about, but you don't have the wisdom nor the patience to listen to people? That's impossible. That's where wisdom comes in. Wisdom comes with this is where you get this stuff, that white stuff right there. It shows wisdom because you've been here a while. And you've learned some things. And you've seen some things. And you've learned to react a little different, better, more and more each time. When I see these things, When I see these things, man, I'm shaking my head, man. And I'm saying we're better than this. Yeah, it's crazy and uncensored. It's just it's terrible. My wife was crying like my mom did John F. Kennedy. Now, there are a lot of people affected by this. Charlie had an impact on Generation Z. He did, whether you liked him or not. Now, I barely listened to the guy, but I respected him. I respected him because he was a conservative, and we did share a couple of the same values. That's right. We shared some of the same values. And to this day, I will always share that value with him. And if for some reason God rises this man from the dead, which I doubt, you know, God can do anything. But I got the video in queue right here. It was sent to my email. And it's actually a video a little closer than others. It was taken from somebody about 10 feet from him. It's sad. Well, they're saying that they caught somebody, but you guys got to understand something. All right? You're around a bunch of conservatives. You think there wasn't people that were open carrying on public property? Come on, man. You never know. I don't know. I wasn't there. That's why we got to sit back, listen to all this preliminary crap. The only thing that I can call a fact right now is I know that he was assassinated. That's called an assassination. When you're sitting amongst thousands of people and all of a sudden a bullet goes straight through you and takes your life. That is called an assassination. And it's sad. 31 years of age, that's right. Yeah, it's so sad. He almost made it to 32. Yeah, that's so sad. Just a little jihad, is that you? It's always good to see you. Looks like people ain't. I'm not. I got mods for that, so I'm not worried about it. But you know, I'm very open with free speech, but hate speech and free speech are not. They're not the same, man. And if you believe that they are, there's something wrong with you. And I mean that with all my heart. If you believe that, there is something wrong with you. Yes, my wife said it was. I haven't watched it yet because I don't want to sit here. I know after seeing that, and him being a fellow conservative like myself. See, I'm not a Republican, guys. I could still be I could still be Hebrew and not be a Jew. I could still speak Hebrew and not be a Jew. You understand? I got conservative values, but I don't believe in that narcissistic way the love of money and power and riches, and that's all these Democrats are. They're capitalist, every one of them, because they're capitalizing off of talking about capitalism. If that makes any sense to you. Oh my God, that's so sad. Hey, just a little jihad. Did you see that Ukrainian girl too? That I'm gonna bring that up. That's important to me just as much. She was on the left, Charlie was on the right. Okay, so now that there's everybody's proof that I'm not just talking. That girl was a Democrat from Ukraine that came in through the Democratic Party and was resettled by Rashida Tlaib and what's her face? You do the backstory on her, you'll know that. Oh God, what's her name? Omar. Okay, so just saying. And that girl just came in off the bus, sat down, put her feet up on the chair, and was zooming through her stuff. All of a sudden, this thing was going through her neck, and she bled out pretty quick. And everybody just sat there and watched. They didn't do nothing. They didn't even run. Oh, okay. I'm making stuff up. Boy, you haters come out of everywhere. Why are you talking crap to me? This is common knowledge. Go do the backstory on her. If you would have, I got that off of UK TV. That's what they said. The BBC. Hey man, that was straight off the press when I woke up this morning. Anyways, moving on. Thank you. Appreciate that, Dirty. Gold. I think they thought he was the guy, but he wasn't. So I'm not. Yeah, CNN and Fox are both concurring on that. Let me push play a little bit. Let's listen. This is a Democrat on that's on the 5 out of the 5 that's on there. He's one of the 2 Democrats that's on there.
And what I draw from all of this is this low, unfortunate, tragic place we've descended to as a country where we think violence. Someone, I think it might have been you, Greg, that said or maybe you, Jesse, that said that you shoot him and you kill him and you take his ideas. You won't take his ideas off the table by shooting him, or for that matter, shooting someone you disagree with or trying to kill someone you disagree with. We're the greatest country in the world, and you talked about the foundation of that, Kennedy. You talked about Socrates and Plato. Everyone around the table has. One thing I'll leave you with, we talk about Socrates and Plato. No one ever asked during that era who was the richest person. They wanted to know who was the most thoughtful, who had the best ideas, and who was willing not just to have an open mind, but who was willing not only to debate, but to make things better. Again, my prayers and condolences to young Erica Kirk and her family.
Before we go to Paul Morrow, I don't think that that Paul Ryan would mind me sharing this story. I was once at a
yes, he did.
Where there was
and I won't call you that. You should take that capital G off of there, bro.
Having a good conversation and just sitting around having a drink, and these younger people that worked at the bar came up and they really wanted to get a picture. But not with Paul Ryan. They wanted a picture with Charlie Kirk, and Paul Ryan took pictures.
Man, let them hate, man. I don't do that here.
I'm taking the pictures of those young people with Charlie.
People
Kirk.
have free speech here, man. I let them be. You know, if you want, as long as they're not being racist or threatening people and disrespecting my mods or disrespecting each other, calling people out. And my mods know what to look out for. That's why you don't see a lot of people I don't kick people, man. I got people that love me, man. I got just under 21,000 subscribers. They love me. And it is what it is. I've been doing this a long time. I hear you. Bye-bye, Charlie. Who's Junior? Is there a Junior in here? I'm trying to figure out who he's calling Junior. Yeah. Can you do me a favor, Emmanuel? Can you define what a bootlicker is? You guys do not answer that. Please respect me. I want Emmanuel to tell me what a bootlicker is. Let's go on. As I was saying, he passed, and then they had, they said they had it, but the CNN just said that they didn't know for sure, and they double backed and took that back and said that they wasn't sure. And Fox is saying that it's not the shooter, but it could have been a witness. Yeah, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please join the Wolby family. It's free. Hit that like button. Appreciate it. It's free. We talk about things like this all the time here. But I'm not political, and I won't be. I won't be political, guys. Now, anybody that believes in government is a statist. See, again, your definitions is your own. You're not looking what a real bootlicker is. A bootlicker is somebody that backs something that they think is the right, but it's actually not. That's like, people backing the blue, and then you got that saying, back the blue until it happens to you, right? A bootlicker is Republicans and Democrats alike, just to let you know. A bootlicker is considered a square, like what you're talking about. I think you're talking more of the square. And yes, he's for law enforcement. So am I. And I go out, my channel showed you that I'll go out and check them and cuss them out every day. And so I'm still for law and order. We're in the here and now. We're not going back. We got over 400 million people in this country. You know what would happen without law enforcement? You would probably lose your life. It's not that they're saving you. It's that deterrent's saving your ass from a free-thinking American from taking your ass out for what you just said. You know what I'm talking about. Now, getting back to the facts. Most people don't know what bootlickers are. Like I said, they're on the right and the left, guys. And that's that. That's a fact. You're going to have them. No, Michelle was not a terrible person. Who's Michelle? What are we talking about? I don't know why he was horrible. Why was he so horrible? Explain to me, Michelle. See, I ask questions. I don't go to calling people names. Okay, believe that. Do you know what a deterrent is? if you're in a minority, that deterrent saved your life. Oh, so I think just a little jihad meant, no, Michelle, he wasn't a bad man. I think that's what she meant to say. Correct me if I'm wrong. Just a little jihad. Yeah, Matthew, there are. There's about 50 videos of a guy being put in custody, but that they thought he was the shooter, and I just heard him say it 15 minutes ago that he's not. Right on the bottom. The person they have in custody is not the shooter. Now he may be. We don't know. How about we just shut up until we find out? How about we just leave that one to law enforcement that actually has the video of the guy, because I'm sure there's a video of the guy pulling the trigger. I'll bet you that they have that they followed him from where he shot him, his trap exam, where he went, and all the way up to the time they put him in cuffs. All right. So that's how that usually goes too. And this is not the Biden administration where you got a dead man pointing a finger and being commander in chief. There's going to be a fast investigation, because if he's not the shooter, you got another dangerous idiot on the road that's assassinating political components, and he's got to go forthwith. Let me get my other phone. Sitting at the foot of my bed here. I got this 75-inch TV. But let's listen in what the five's saying.
Sweet memory that just came to mind. Let's bring in Paul Morrow. He's a former NYPD inspector. He's a Fox News contributor who can speak to, one, I think the manhunt is of interest, and then the broader story.
You hear that? Why, if they caught him, why is there a manhunt? Okay. This is just 17 minutes old.
Paul, of course, I know you have a lot of.
I've had it on mute for 17 minutes.
Somebody like this and the impact that they had in just 31 years on Earth.
I mean, pause.
Yeah, of course I do. You around the table have all echoed.
That's Paul Moreno on the phone there.
Maya Angelou said that courage is the virtue that's required for all others. And
courage is the virtue that applies to all others.
Something like this, it's all I can think of in terms of what he was made of. This is a guy who knew that there were a lot of people against him, and you
hear that?
The cases he was is what inspired that. I know a lot of young people in my family who were aware of him before even I was, and it speaks to how effective he was as a communicator, using media, building that organization. It dawned on me slowly how significant a figure he was. And I'm talking about high school level now. And that's so important, because that meant that you had high schoolers going away to school. Oh.
BCD signs. Police scanner said it was a white male in all black with avatar, black, long. Okay, gotcha. Thank you.
Their normal support networks, family, etc. Going in, well instructed, let's say, or well prepared, better word, for the fact that they were going to be hearing ideas that they didn't have to necessarily wholesale accept. And I just go back to the idea that the guy's courage.
I gotcha.
Was
PH. And I understand what you mean.
Greg, our old friend Andrew Breitbart, very, very similar. A guy who.
I hear you, Corey.
You know what? I know there's danger. I know there's a lot of people who want to shut me up. I'm going to debate with them, and I'm going to debate with them in a genial way and be collegial and debate points. Unfortunately, there is an element, and look, the right has their
Okay, aviator sunglasses. I got
We're in
you.
an era, we're in a season now
I got
of
you.
leftist violence, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm now on the phone because I'm down in
I'm gonna get me
Florida
some more tea. I'll be right back.
Trial. And all this happened when I was in the air. I just learned of it on touching down. And the irony of that is not lost on me, and what's not lost on me as well is that horrific video that we've all seen by now of Charlie Kirk. Transpose that to Butler. And think about how close we came there. And then I got to think forward being a cop. And I say, how many others are out there? How can we prevent them? And I just hope that the Secret Service is up to the task. Because, I'm not entirely reassured by some of the things I've been hearing. And so I just hope we're vigilant, because this is no way to run a nation. We're a nation of ideas. This is not who we are.
Do you have any, I know you just told us that you're there to cover the second assassination attempt on President Trump by covering the Ryan Ruth trial gets underway after jury selection, and that starts tomorrow. But do you have any information about the manhunt that's underway right now for the person who shot Charlie Kirk?
Only things that
There it is right here.
From the limited reporting that's out there. A couple of things I've heard, and I have a little bit of a source on this. But again, I don't want to say anything that's not really confirmed in such.
See that? It's not confirmed at all.
There was that early report of that one individual that they grabbed and he had on his knees and he was
See?
talking. That went out viral as, okay, here's the shooter. That didn't ring true for me.
Told you.
Because we've all seen the video. That is almost certainly a high-powered round. The school reportedly is saying that the shot came from 200 yards away. If that had been somebody who was in the crowd up front near the stage, you would have seen a long gun, because that is a long gun round from what I can see. I'm not a ballistic expert and I wasn't there, but again, from what I can glean, it argues to me that the person they grabbed in front of the stage, since we have not seen...
Welcome from Britain.
It argues to me
and
that the shooter is
thanks.
Someplace off the set.
Thanks for your thoughts, man.
Someplace entirely visible.
For sure.
Because I'd imagine a lot of people had their phones out. They were taking video. So
I'm neither, Coy.
The shooter appears to be unapprehended.
But I do believe in conservative values.
Might be involved, might not. We don't know. But that was not a handgun round. Now the bullet that did hit Charlie, God bless him, is right now a vital clue, along with all the stuff we always talk about, the video, doing some digital forensics, etc. But the round is going to tell you a lot, and it'll tell you likely how far away it came from, and what kind of rifle was
F1,
used.
1983. You might be right.
I would say this. If you were there,
You might be right, brother.
if you were there,
That still don't make it right.
and you have video, do not hesitate, no matter how below the ground, unimportant you think it is. I'm sure they're setting up the intake on all of this. You don't have to necessarily go right to the campus police or the local cops, wherever you are. There's going to be a lot of jurisdictions. Get what you have up the chain. Somebody out there saw and knows something. And right now we are in a manhunt. And anything...
Well, who else would kill...
...dangerous individual.
I'm gonna
really important. So
I'm gonna just bring out some common sense facts and use preponderance of the evidence. And those of you that know how to define preponderance of the evidence, if you do so, I'd appreciate it. Just don't take my word for it. It's what's more likely than not likely. So you got a guy there that's hated by a lot of blue people. Nobody on the right hates this man. It's people that are on the left that hate this man. Because he's against all their made-up science. Okay? If you got a Johnson bigger than mine, I'm just going to tell you like it is. You're a man. And if you identify to whatever you identify as, you ain't doing nothing but lying to yourself. So, I mean, this has gone way too far. And I don't dislike, I don't disrespect human beings that identify from men to women. I don't care what they do. But you're not going to. Where I'm standing right now is the truth room. You will never, ever get me to concede in any capacity a lie that I know that is a lie. Even with something to my head. No. I'll say in Jesus' name, save this man. And that'll buy my way, and God will forgive me, and it'll be over with. Take me out of my misery. I'll probably cry like a little bee, but it's the truth. Just saying. Ingrid guy that you got was released. He wasn't the gunman. You see? That's facts. Just the facts, guys. Just the facts. Let's listen.
Hearing my voice and you were there and you have video, get it to the cops, man, because they're going to really be pressing on this.
Paul Morrow, thank you so much. And before we go to Jackie Heinrich at the White House, we got a few more comments from around the table. And I was thinking also, Greg, I noticed you just made
Now,
a note
Greg is going to be more rude about it. So here we go.
And these big events, it's fun to gather with people who think like you do. When you want to go to the concert, you want to go to the event.
Yeah, it's I would say, like, for my job here, I would say the work that I do, 80% is indoors. You know, maybe I'll do an event in somewhere else or go here.
You're probably
go
right,
but
Michelle.
I'm an indoor cat. You know,
Michael,
and, Charlie's the reverse. Like, I would say 80 to 90% of what he did was out there.
The sun's in my eyes.
Outside, which meant
That's
he
the sun
often
right
back
there.
to people. He was never armed. He was out there, and he did that. He probably knew that he was vulnerable, but you know, he had faith, and I get the sense that maybe these outdoor events are going to become a relic of an earlier
I
time,
agree.
especially with
All right,
things like
JC.
drones, and
But
self-driving
see,
cars, and
are you a Democrat? RAJC? Be honest.
oh, I mean, yeah, I know when I get home, my wife is going to say, "You're not doing that thing. You're not going to that thing."
Yes, I have. I voted for Donald Trump. Just like half of this community has voted for Donald Trump. We wanted to see some changes. Trust me, I'm going to tell you what I think about Donald Trump. I think Donald Trump is a narcissist that doesn't give two craps whether Adam Dillinger dies or not. That's me, by the way. I think Donald Trump wouldn't care if my whole family was to burn up in a house fire or get blown off the block. I don't think he cares. But I do think he cares about his money and his country. And I don't think that people should be getting that green stuff they call money just because it exists. I think if you earn that money, it's yours. I don't believe in taxation without representation. I don't believe in the vehicle code for regular drivers like you and I. If you own your business and you're driving for commerce, that is for you, not me and my private and my Fourth Amendment. As soon as you get a driver for commerce, which is a federal CDL, that is where you lose your Fourth Amendment. You've automatically signed your rights away to be pulled over at any given time by Department of Motor Vehicles, which is any cop in the state or in the country, period, point blank, because they're government agents. And they can redress you and violate you, but they still have to have reasonable articulable suspicion, of course. But anyways, Terry versus Ohio. A lot of people don't even know what that means. A lot of people are still, even cops don't even know what that means. They just think, oh man, we could get them on this. Wee woo, wee woo, wee woo. They got you pulled over, right? Right there, he violated your rights because he said, Johnson, I believe, Justice Johnson in the Supreme Court said It cannot be an un-UN and then put articulable behind it. Unarticulable, in, an in, articulable. So, and that's put together, compound. In, it's all together. One word, in. Articulable. Inarticulable hunch. You cannot have an inarticulable hunch, meaning you can't have a hunch. You got to know for a fact that he committed the offense. That's what created the Terry Doctrine. You have to have reasonable, articulable suspicion of a crime. Moving on.
You know, she's going to say it. I'm going to have to say, no, everything's fine.
Free Diddy!
Do it. A turning point event, I don't know when it is.
Oh, you guys are sick.
December, and I'm sure, well, I'm going.
Yeah.
You know, and
I hear you.
I don't know.
But we have to think about these things. Unfortunately, Jesse.
Yeah, so he wasn't doing them in auditoriums because he had so many people coming, and you couldn't fit them in a school auditorium. So we do them out in the quad or somewhere like this. And it's kind of what you see is what you get. Like, come at me. I'm not afraid. Bring it on. I'm going to say what I'm going to say. You say what you're going to say. We'll have a good time. And I'll go on to the
You know
next
what,
campus.
man?
And that's
I
what he did.
think you're getting a
And
little
so
brainwashed. And you
We're
get.
hearing also from
I
the
think
New
you're
York Times-
a little ahead of yourself as a speaking from the Democratic point of view. I know it. I was a Democrat for 27 years. I'm probably older than you. And if you're my age and you're Generation X, you should know better. Because you know damn well that party was the party of the KKK. You know they're the ones that supported that 100,000 man march. And during that march, all the wives of the KKK was having a seminar with Margaret Sanger on trying to expand eugenics and abortions for black people. Now, that is the greatest betrayal in the world, is to have your own party want to exterminate you. And let me quote her as you say you're a black man, my man. Let me quote her. The cultivation of a extermination of a defective bloc, infiltrating the most beautiful, finest flower of society. So basically what she was saying is we're going to stop that black man from making love to that white woman. Do you hear me? Well, that's betrayal inside your own party. Just like John Lewis. He was on that bridge and they beat his ass and cracked his head to the white meat. Do you hear me? They were very violent with him. And then they had the audacity to run him over. All for civil rights, right? You with me? Now, you gotta turn around and join them people. Join Lyndon Johnson in the venture to create the great society as we now know called welfare. Take a bow. Your sellout Uncle Tom that got ran over and beat up by the Democrats turned around and joined them and turned his back on you. I'm back quiet on that. We're not talking no more about that. You want to, you email me. Moving on. Because this is not what this conversation's about. This is about Charlie Kirk. Yeah, a lot of people are hurting. I believe you. I'm sorry you feel that way. That Batman 22 gotcha. Probably does. Never said it to my face. He didn't say it about a week ago when we were talking for about 3 hours. I think so. I think somebody that loves freaking. It's somebody that knows me, and that's okay. You're so jealous, dude. Get a life. I'm gay, dude. You think I don't know who you are? Hey, what's that? I can't pronounce it. HS Hassaks. Whatever that is. Boy. He says, hail Trump. Inside job, it could have been. Very well. Hubert, are you a Marine? It is the flag and the American flag. It is a flag. It is an American flag. Chris, okay. I don't know what I'm getting myself into there. Stay out of that one. Charlie has a civil rights leader. Yeah. He's a good man. I believe he was a good man. Was Charlie a good man? Here, let's see where you guys are at right now. There you go. There's the poll. Take a vote. Let's see where we're at. $50 so far at 83%. This poll, we already got 100 people in there. 83 says, yeah, I screenshotted it at 50. I'll do it again here in a minute at 150. Didn't like him, but This is so sad and absolute tragedy to be taken out like that in front of a crowd and video for a poor wife and kids to see. Lee, that is what a true American or human being does. This is who we are, guys. Right? Let me scoot this down a little bit so you guys can see me because I got that big old pole right above me. Yeah. And I didn't vote for this. I want my vote in there too. I get the vote. One man, one vote, guys. One man, one vote. So far, 120. Yes. All right. The hell's this? Who is this? Well, a lot of people were talking about this, guys, and you know, we are who we are, man. Right? I'm reading your guys'. Everybody has free speech here, man. You say what you want to say. You say what's on your mind about this subject. Try salad and a walk. You know what, dude? God bless you, man. You keep up the good work, okay? Left-wing cultivists are violent. They are. That don't mean it's a fact that they didn't. Good for you, you know. You know, I'm the only one stopping them from deleting you. You know that, right? His most popular question, which woke people was a woman. Gotcha. It's not letting me vote. Well, damn it, man. That ain't no good. We got 201 votes on there right now. And of course, here it is, 73%. That's right. I'm sure as people keep coming in and out, you know, they'll use their 10 or 15, you know. I know exactly. In the first 1 minute, when it went up to about 100, them were the true voters. And that, you know, the trolls wasn't, you know, taking advantage of it. Me being a content creator for so long, I know a little tricks of the trade, and I know I can multiply that by the time and probably come out with a better, more accurate number on that. 74% so far says he was a good man. Ah, wow, I like that. We're all hypocrites. Arrest and full investigation into the politicians, their associates, and media for creating the deep division. The 90s, the people were not this deeply divided. You're damn right they wasn't. In the 90s, New York, you could walk anywhere in New York and enjoy yourself and express yourself without being harassed by the cops and without being smacked or ran over or pushed or robbed. That's a fact. You wait. When that socialist gets there and then it all goes haywire and they send in those people are Albany will pray for the federal government to come in and take over. Where people can be people again. I'm sorry, guys. If white people make you, if Caucasians make you sick, or if Caucasians get you mad, or you stay in a frustrated mood because of white people, it only means one thing. You're a racist. And you need Jesus. And you need forgiveness. Just ask him. He'll forgive you. I'll even forgive you. Hey, a bitch is a bitch, right? Has nothing to do with color. But I will concede something about white people. A difference. When I was pursuing my paralegal degree, of course I was on my state paid vacation. I was doing a 5-year bit because I didn't understand the law as written, because there was a law on Michigan books that was an MCL that was called justifiable homicide. That means if you had to do something to somebody, you couldn't finish them off without murdering them, right? But then you leave a witness that gets in front of a jury that gets some kind of selection just because they started it and they're down there and you're up here. It's your fault now. So the law would want me to be, if I would have did what everybody else done in those days and committed murder and flat out killed him with intent, I could have got away with it. But that's not who I am. And I won't let the laws turn me into that. Man pulled a gun on me, and I had to make a choice. We were both in our homes because we shared a home together. I had full house privileges, and this guy was robbing me blind. And I told him the next time he goes in my room, I'll roll up his ass. And he was prepared for me. He went and robbed me, and then I went come out of my room, and he pulled out a .38, and I just flipped out. I jumped over the table, and I beat him to death. Anyway, I was 19 years old when that happened. I was still a teenager. Young, dumb, and full of gun. But I swore to myself I'd never be ignorant again. So instead of sitting in a cage acting like a monkey, like we were being treated like the animals, I decided to get a paralegal degree. And ever since then, I protected myself. That's why you can go to my channel and you see how I shot call. It's because I do it, because I know the law. Yeah, but I mean, it's free speech, right? It's not hurting you. Are you hurt over that? Because his favorite word was, "Are you woke?" Come on, who gives a shit? We don't know. We don't know who murdered him. Yeah, I agree with that, Benjai. I just don't understand why you can call a good, loving husband and father of two a monster. Why would you call him a monster? I don't get it. As you see, the poll is, we got 420 people on there that fully disagree with you, sir. You got 22% people that agree with you so far. 78 are against you. I mean, you even said some moral in you said he didn't deserve that. That meant a lot to me when I seen that along with your statement. So that means I know somewhere in your chest, you're human like me. You just think different, right? And you are entitled to your opinion here. I will not take your opinion away from you, but I would tell you this, my friend. What is your I seriously want to know what your definition of a monster is. Okay, please tell me what it is, so I'll further elaborate. Molly D. Kurt was a monster, but he didn't deserve to be gunned down. His poor kids and wife. Molly D. Please tell me why you call him a monster. The left are evil, vile, bloody, thirsty monsters, filled with hate and violence. We're blind and wicked and selfish and insane. The left are evil. Look at yourselves. You're right on a lot of the stuff you're saying, but you got to understand humans across the board. I'm going to tell you something right here. You might not like what I'm about to say, but Republicans are just as bad. They're just more sneaky about what they do, and they're more privileged. Because most conservative Republicans, in my opinion, a common person like me, I can't even afford to be a Republican. You would have to have like a minimum of $20 million to be a real Republican in this day and age. I'm just saying it like it is. I hung out with a bunch of guys that were retired. Maybe about 25 or 30 of us would get together. And I would protect them from all the dope fiends and stuff down there. And I'd listen to these guys fight, argue over politics back and forth. And I swear they had some good conversation, bad conversation. What I did was make sure nobody got hurt and made sure somebody on the outside would mind their business. Because they wasn't nothing but a bunch of old white peckerwoods that was harmless. This is before I got electrocuted. This kind of person I was. And I had, 1980s value. Okay? It was a 1980s value that I had of being a Democrat. Not today's Democrat. Today's Democrat is more of a socialist or a communist. And the Democrats that are voting, like in my neighborhood right here, the Democrats that are around me are not socialists. They work, they take care of their crap. All of them have taken care of their own, and they're not on welfare. And I'm not dogging people that are on welfare. If you're legitimately on welfare and you can't help it, and you're handicapped, you don't got nothing, more power to you, man. That's what it's there for. Take it, or somebody else will. Okay? I'm not going to get into that, but I do know this. I don't want to be judgmental. It's like, who died and made people God? The only thing I do know as an individual in the state of Michigan, 2 miles south, Detroit City. Okay? Born and raised in this city, always be a city man. Son of Byford, brother of Val. If you know what that means, you know. But if you don't, it don't matter. It's all good. I am what I am, and what I'm not, I'll never be. And God before me, who could be against me? Heaven and earth would pass away, but his word will last forever. My values and core feelings that I have as a human being. I can't 1,000% prove everything I'm saying, but 1,000% God rose me from my deathbed. The back of my head is your evidence. Do you see that? You see the back of my head? I don't know if y'all could see that or not. It's looking for a face. Anyways, it's blown out. Literally blown out. Gone. It's always wearing my Kangaroos. $13.2 thousand volts went through me and killed me. You can look me up. Channel 2 did a story on me, and I'm a miracle. And I do know it was the Lord God Almighty that rose me from my deathbed. In his name is Jesus. Blessed be the name of the Lord, for he is holy and worthy. And thank you, Officer Joe Sparks. It's now moved on. Shout out to Lincoln Park Police and our peeps. Shout out to you. Our public workers down there at City Hall. Hello, if you're watching. Yeah, I still got some followers and I don't flaunt it. So let's just keep it cool, all right? You got a family, so do I. This is the Wolvie family right here. You see that way up there? Yeah. I got people. Thank God. But God rose me and I have my belief system. Thank God for the First Amendment. That same amendment that allows you to disagree with me and says, I don't like your God, and I refuse to believe that your Jesus saved your life. I think you're just a tough old bastard. You know how many times people told me that? Okay, you're entitled to that too. Stop the count? Why? Why should I stop the count? See, doctor, you're telling on yourself when you're doing that. 684 people have voted, and we're at 80%. Good man. You're telling on yourself, bro. I'm going to let it keep going. A lot of people were coming in and out of here. Threatened with a black button. What the hell is he talking about? I don't know what he means, but no matter what, political views, no one should be. That's right. Amen. Paid hit, probably linked back to, so it could be. Never know. Ain't nothing wrong with that, Tube You. No, you're not deleted, Judd. Well, if he does, that's his prerogative, right? I'm not trying to demonize people, and you guys can have your conversations. Just don't attack each other. I got some trolls in here, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with trolls. Trolls are good. That means if I didn't have trolls, there's something wrong. Okay? If I didn't have a watching audience that out of 139 people, I got 115 likes, I'm doing something good. I got to have some haters, which matches the 78 and 22%. Right? Now, if I could change this real quick, and I could have 10,000 people up in here if I wanted to. Because I know exactly how to chase clout. But I don't do that. I won't do it. And William, you know what I mean. You watch these guys you and I have talked about, that's all they do is chase that clout, and they get it. And I told you how it's done. And you know, you got a taste of it. You started feeling it. That's why you went live. You wanted to see if you can get somewhere. Don't forget, the next time you go live, you make sure, because I will look out for my boy William. Let's give a shout out to some of these people out here that like my free speech. Let's look at William L. Let's look at MCC, my boy. Let's look at What on This World, Pam Cam, Freaking Media. I don't know what his new channel is. He said he ain't gonna have one. He does whatever he wants. That's fine. I'm good with that. Let me think. Lackluster, I always love you, and I appreciate what you've done for me. And thanks for having my back, and thanks for always being there for me. Thank you for your dedication to my channel, and thanks for having my back. You told me no matter what these people think, you will always have my back. And if I want him to put out a video, he'll put it out for me. Because he knows, I'm not going to send him some lame video that without no good content to that. He knows I'll get millions of views, But anyway, it's a political thing out here, and these Democrats don't like me so much. And I'm not even a Republican. Can't afford to. Honestly, I can't afford to be a Republican. Remember William? I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying, dog. Damn. Did you see that, William? You talk about stop the poll. They didn't want to keep it going. We got almost 1,000 people that voted. You understand what I'm saying? Why would I stop the poll? The same person to try to take him out felt the same way you did. He just allowed it to control. Oh, you ain't gonna listen to me? I got something for that. This guy's too dangerous. He's telling too much truth. He's getting too much people. We gotta get 26. We can't do it. And they know they can't do it. There's no leadership in the Democratic Party. Maybe if I got up in there and ran for it, they might elect me. Because people know where I stand. I'm right in the middle. Smack down the middle on everything. Because what comes first in my life is my God, my family, and my country. That's it. Chronological order right there, baby. He trolls the hell out of them. Cheatin, Wico. I don't know if I said your name. Sorry if I butcher your name. Forgive me. Yeah, he was a target. And, we can't go around. We cannot, as a country, keep going around thinking that we're going to be all right. We can't. We just can't do it. And this is the evidence why. Because eventually it'll just catch up to you, and your worst fears come true, and you're without a body. And it's sad. Yes, it is. It could be. You never know. Hey, Brent, how you doing, man? It's good to see you. Brent, do you know how to be a mod? You've been on my channel a lot. You have earned a spot if you want one. If you want it, I'll give it to you. Just ask. To have a cost of unfortunate some gun is our very single year that we can have a Second Amendment. Yeah. It's sad. It's so sad. Remember his words too. Yep. If a person shows you, you know it doesn't make you feel. Someone spreads messages of it is what it is, man. It is what it is, man. You got to understand something. When you pay a price for property and you worked hard for what you have, nobody has the right to come and take that from you. And when people are taxed without representation, let alone with representation, I don't believe in. There's this lady that's running for governor. I forget her name. I was listening to her, man, and she's talking about getting rid of the income tax. No, not the income tax, but the house tax, homestead tax. I'm down with that. Say me just under $5,000 a year. Yeah, summer and winter taxes. Bullshit. I heard you 2 weeks ago talking about how he thinks he will. Yeah, believe it or not, John, some of these things could be foreseen. You know, freedom is scary. John, you get it now? Do you get what I'm saying to you when I say it? When Wolvie says it, do you get what I'm saying? People have been trying to hurt me since day one. I'm just surrounded with people with the Second Amendment. I ain't worried about it. And if that's the way God wants me to go, I guess I'll go. I guess you'll have that authority. You know? Wow. We just hit 1,000. 1,079. Excuse me. 1,078. And we're at 78%. Charlie, God bless you. God have mercy on your soul. When the dead in Christ shall rise, I'm sure you'll meet God in the air. Let's listen, guys.
That the shooter fired a round from a building which was at higher elevation and shot down 200 yards away, which was only 50 yards farther than the Butler assassin. And so, again, this is a pot shot.
50 yards from the Butler assassin?
And if you look at the geography around the area, you can just walk down from that building, get in your vehicle, and you could be in the mountains in 10 minutes.
Wow.
You could be at the airport in Provo in
But this was
5
Utah.
minutes. I'm a little
talking
worried that this manhunt is going to go on for a long time, because if they don't have this guy now, there is no telling where he or she or they could be.
Harold?
I agree with you, Jesse. It is. I was hoping that Paul maybe he can react to that, and we'll react to that a little later. But
before he goes on, I do believe that all politicians, there might be an open season. You got to be careful, man. Son, if you're out there, I love you.
What if it was 200 yards away? I'm sure we'll get more and more details about why they detained the first person. But I know you pray that you're wrong, that this guy or this person or this group of people were able to get away. I just end where I started. We are in a terrible place. The intervention need. I heard someone say earlier, a friend texted me a little while ago about how Charlie used words and not weapons, and he disagreed with him on a lot of things, and he knew him as well. And how the country, we're going to have to wrestle with the fact as we get through these next 2 or 3 days here, next 24 to 48 hours, and learn more about what happened. This intervention the country needs around our politics is more urgent than it's ever been. And I'd say it again, find something you agree with, somebody you disagree with.
Yes, it is terrible.
This afternoon and tonight, be it anybody in your family or a friend or coworker, whatever it might be. And remember, if you can't find something to agree on, we can at least agree that we're all Americans and we love the country.
Amen. Amen.
And if you can't agree on that, find something in sports. Find something you can agree
Amen.
on with someone you so passionately disagree with. And again, my prayers to his family.
Do you think this was a message?
Think what, the shooting was a message?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a
I
message.
think we'll learn. I'm hesitant to
Any assassination is.
I think they're going to catch this guy, and when they do, I think we're going to learn. We're going to learn a lot more.
I mean, it's
When you say message,
it's not an unimpressive feat what happened.
Yeah.
That was hard to do.
Okay, I mean, you ask if it's a message. I say it's absolutely a message. This is a message meant to silence people. This is an assassination. This is an act of terrorism because although Charlie Kirk was not a politician, he was political and he was powerful, and his power came from joy and igniting a movement and being really, really convincing. And that was the threat. That was a threat to a group of people. That was a threat to the other side. That was a threat to someone. And that was enough of a threat that they had to take his life into their hands. And yes, it was a message, and yes, it was political, and that person intended.
By the way, this is old girl from
to silence
MTV.
Everyone who agrees with him, and to silence everyone who wants
She
to go
started
out on a
MTV
limb
back in the day.
and make their case and refute so much of what especially younger people are being fed. And like I said at the beginning, it is okay to refute things that you disagree with. That is an appropriate.
And that is facts. Now you see, it is okay. That's now the rest of you that are here that say, hey, Wolvie, why are you letting these guys talk crap like that in here? Because free speech is important. It is important that everybody have that freedom. As long as they're not talking racism, targeting people, they can say whatever they want to say. Yeah, there is cause and effect on everything, Yasha. No, they don't have the shooter yet. There's a massive manhunt, though. All the U.S. Marshals, bam. Damn, dude. You're too evil. You gotta go. Have a good day. Bye. Well, I mean, that's what his that's how his name was spelt on his Instagram page. And if it ain't, I apologize. He was hiding before the event and started. Yeah, it's a very. You know what, Sog? That is a good point for sure. Yup, for sure. I love how they left. They've been doing that forever. Remember Soleimani that was killing all those Chaldeans, throwing them off the cliffs in Iraq. Remember that? That was Soleimani doing that, all right? In Iraq. You go back, I think I literally have some recorded video down in there saved on that, and I would never want to show it. But if you got Discord, you can find it. Yep. You know, I think I'm going to get my boy to get me a Discord going, have him get me going. He said he would. He's a good guy, man. Curtis, if you're out there, waving a hand to you. Shout out to you. Yeah. Out of the 217 people here, we appreciate you. And a lot of people, it's still like, we're up to 1,400 voters right now. Amen. Thank you. Thanks for your votes. Yeah, people are voting, man. If you haven't smashed that like button, smash that like button and do the channel a favor and subscribe to it. It's free. It doesn't, you don't have to pay for nothing, man. You know, please subscribe to my channel. I am trying to grow my channel. Thank you for joining the Wolvie family and listening to me. Thank you very much. Can we at least get up to, can I get, I need about, we're at 23, wow, okay. 23.8. Can we bring that up to 24? I only need 200 of you. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Yeah, that would be nice of you. Thank you. Where in the heck is my... Where's Studio? YouTube Studio. Yeah, we need just 150 more voters, if you don't mind. Or 150 more subscribers. 182 people in here. Let's see it go up. Come on. Subscribe. Appreciate it. Charlie, man, God bless you, man. Lord, I'm going to say a prayer. Those of you that believe, pray with me. Those of you that don't, take a break, man. Go outside, get some fresh air. Lord, I thank you for this day. I thank you for your blessings. I thank you for your love and your mercy. Lord, I thank you for everything that you've ever done for me and the people that believe. I really do appreciate you. There's nobody greater than thou. For you are my rock. You are my shield. You're my salvation. I talk to you all the time as my Father. Lord, I ask you to release a peace in Charlie Kirk's family and his children, his wife. Release a peace beyond all understanding. And blessed be the name of the Lord God Almighty. In Jesus' lovely name I pray. Amen. Moment of silence. For those of you that don't believe, that want to affirm on just a good thought, you can do that as well. That was a moment of peace for the late shattered life of a man that was making a difference in his field, bringing peace and answers to people that wasn't sure, people that were sharing their thoughts and ideas together. It's what America's about. This is who we are, guys. And I can't really tell people what is and what ain't. Ouch. When it comes to your self-worth, knowing how important you are. My neighbor. Knowing things that are important to you. I had to get off that edge, sit in a wheelchair. The sun was starting to bother me. Oh, is my battery gonna go dead? Oh yeah, it's dead. But of course. But it's for a good cause. Well, we're gonna talk a little more about Charlie. And we're gonna maybe say a couple more prayers every now and then. It's just who I am, guys. You know what I mean? I am who I am, you know. I'm not trying to be somebody that I'm not. You know, I do love the Lord. And all things work for those who love the Lord for His purposes, not mine. Not my will, but thy will be done. You know, on earth as it is in heaven. It is what it is. I'm not here to change your mind or manipulate you into anything that you don't want to hear. You're more welcome to hit that X button and leave anytime you want. Ain't nobody making you stay. But you are welcome. There's nobody here that is trying to get rid of you for any beliefs. You don't have to run from this channel. This channel is very friendly, and it has the greatest hope that people will learn together how to get along, how to receive each other, and most of all, how to cope when things are just so wrong in this world, where people are doing this to each other over political beliefs. It's just asinine and ridiculous that somebody would do something so heinous over a political thought, man. It is downright repulsive. I gotta plug this thing in. All right, good. And I'll get a rag because when I set it back up, we'll listen to some more opinions straight off the press, specific people during the manhunt. I did this for a lot of people that were in jail, that I was waiting for getting out of jail and waiting for something else to change, and hoping my prayers would come to light, and that God would fulfill my prayers, you know? I really did. Oh man, don't give me a hard time, please. It's gonna give me a hard time. It's always got to give me a hard time. You know, one hand's always better than two, but it's better than no hand at all, right? Oh boy. There's some things a man just don't do, right? I'm gonna cry about spilt milk, but I'm not talking about Charlie. I'm talking about, me and my little thought process here. You know, I'm starting to laugh like Cat Williams. Yeah. Oh man, it ain't staying. I got this stupid, retarded thingamajiggy. Alright, now I lost my green screen. Let's go back. Let's go back. Let's go back. I don't know what. It won't come back up. 49 short sec. What? Okay. I don't understand. I really don't. Alright, good enough. Alright, it's doing what it's gonna do. Yeah, it's always something gotta kick my butt, you know what I mean? Yeah, we'll leave it right here. How about right there? Is that good? That's good. Good enough right here. So let's listen to some more what they were saying here. 542.
He was not scared and he was joyful because he knew his message was entirely appropriate.
I'm not naive enough to say I don't disagree with you, but I just interpreted your question differently.
I meant in the sense that, like, it might have been easier to strike him in another place, but they chose that.
Right. So
I mean, this is planned, as Jonathan Hunt said, carried out competently, beyond, professional.
Right, and
So they didn't have to do it. I mean, this, it makes me think that it's
When
not
you
just-
say
it's
it
a
looks
bigger
like a false flag to me, what's that mean, Jerry C?
message, then it's like you could be next.
for me, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
We want to get to Jackie Heinrich, but I do have this Turning Point releasing a statement. Okay, here I can read it here from Turning Point, saying that it is with a heavy heart that we confirm that Charles James Kirk has been murdered by a gunshot that took place during Turning Point USA's The American Comeback Tour campus event at Utah Valley University on September 10th, 2025. May he be received into the merciful arms of our loving Savior who suffered and died for Charlie.
Wow.
We ask that everyone keep his family and loved ones in your prayers. We ask that you please respect their privacy and dignity at this time. Jackie Heinrich joins us from the White House. Is Secret Service posture changing there, Jackie, at the White House?
So we've reached out to the Secret Service, and they're saying out of their policies, they're not going to be describing any changes that are going to be happening, but they say they always adjust the posture as needed to mitigate threats.
How long have I been muted? Jesus. I don't know what happened to my green screen, but it bounced on me. Wonder why it makes it do that. I don't get it. Anybody know why that works that way? Boy, there's a lot of messages in there. I don't know where the heck I'm at. I got thousands of messages in here. Not too many people agree with his truths. Yeah. Well, at least they're not lies. Right? I don't know what happened to my green screen. I'm so sorry for being muted again. I guess every time I went back and forth, it automatically mutes. So sorry about that. I'm reading the chat here. If you haven't subscribed to Wolvie, please subscribe to my channel. Thanks for all the likes. I'm doing something right. At least I got 142 likes out of 115 people. Look at this. A verse just popped up on my screen. Crap you not. Oh, it disappeared. Ain't that crazy? Huh. It just disappeared. What? Huh. Okay. Whatever, God, I believe in you. That's too much for me. Yeah. God, I got all the messages I need to go through. Through TikTok, huh? Those. Be sober and vigilant. Peter 5 and 8. 1 Peter 5 and 8. I give that one a like. Be sober vigilant. As a roaring adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walk about seeking whom he may devour. Whom resist. You hear that? That means Satan will attack who he may. Let's listen in.
Now reeling with his death, which is hitting very close to home, I do expect we're going to be seeing or feeling at least something different than the usual posture out here. I will say there are still people moving around in front of the White House gate, but it's not the music playing and sort of the party that we've seen out there, including earlier this afternoon. We're awaiting any updates on the president's schedule. He was supposed to have a dinner later on tonight. Unclear if he is still going to attend that dinner. This is obviously an evolving situation, and you've seen the heartfelt condolences coming out from the president, the vice president, Secretary of State, Secretary of War, on down through the cabinet, down to the press secretary as well. Everybody just really shocked and
This has got to
horrified
be a very
and
shocking thing for them there. I mean, they are very, very close friends with him. And when you go through campaigns like the ones they've been through, those relationships are forged in fire. Jackie Heinrich, thank you so much. I want to bring in Joey Jones, who I believe is available now with us, who knew Charlie well, and get your thoughts. Joey, are you with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hi. Get your thoughts today.
Yeah, first of all, thoughts are with Charlie and his family and his children. I've got a 6-year-old little girl, and I just can't imagine what his children will go through these next several years. And it's not fair, it's not right. I've seen this happen with men that went to war with me. And the idea was always, we went to war and we watched these things, and with any luck survived them or sacrificed to them. But when I say these things, gruesome death, so that things like this don't happen at home, so that we don't get attacked by our enemies this way at home. And to sit here today and to think that the propensity, the odds of getting attacked in this way are greater as a public figure espousing conservatism than a warrior at war, just
Wow.
I don't know how to sit with that tonight. I don't know how to understand that. Because of that, I have to think of words that have been spoken in honor of men that I've served with that died in war. And my friend Jacob Schick said very matter-of-factly, we owe it to those we lost in battle to live our lives and live it well. And that's exactly what we owe Charlie Kirk. We owe him. We can't cower. The only way to honor his legacy is to stand in his place. And Greg, you just talked about that. The idea that there's a turning point event that you're going to show up at. And this idea that I can't make a decision for each and every person at that table on how you do public events moving forward. And I think that you're perfectly justified in reevaluating that. But we can't cower. We can't run away from what we believe in and the chosen profession we have, which is to stand up for those things and say them honestly. Charlie Kirk did that. Charlie Kirk saw what happened to President Trump. I can't imagine there aren't verified threats.
I hear you, William.
By the list that he saw going into this event today.
Mofo, you're right.
But he sat there in one of the most vulnerable positions you can
Snap
be in,
phase.
which is indifferent grade to a possible attack in the bottom.
Civil War hasn't could this
And he said
country
the things he believed, and he said the things he believed to be
hasn't
true, and he did it without
started
malice
fighting
or
back
ill will.
yet.
He did it with
that's
conviction.
probably about to
It's not our
change.
place to have retribution.
Well, it's like those
Nobody's seeking
Chinese
retribution for
or those
But they
Japanese
should be seeking to honor him and his legacy
you
and the
know,
work he did.
they have
That
been
is
telling
That is
Caucasian
righting the
people
ship. That is righting and
that
correcting
they
the
are
wrong.
that they're going to be the minority, and they keep calling people racist that are not racist, and people have had enough. And this could be the hair that broke the camel's back. I'm gonna tell you like it is. And there's and another thing, it could wake up some really evil right-wing racist nationalist pieces of garbage that are on that side for all the wrong reasons. Straight up. That's just a fact.
Today, we have to stand loud and stand proud with conviction and love for this country, not with hate in our hearts. And that's hard to do. It's hard not to be pissed off right now.
It
It's hard
is.
not to be brokenhearted right now.
My wife was
that-
crying. I
that
had to
would be
hold
his
her a little while
response,
ago.
and we have to honor him.
There are so
You
many
know?
tentacles of emotions. It almost feels like it could choke us.
John F. Kennedy, people got,
So we
did
will
the
keep
same to
talking.
him.
Joey Jones,
You
thank
know?
you so much. I just got news that the officials are going to give a news conference at 6 p.m. Eastern, so in just about 10 minutes' time. I do want to play one thing for you. So our colleague, Jason Chaffetz, former congressman from Utah, he was there at the event. He had just texted with Charlie. Let's listen to him right here.
Charlie was sitting under an awning. This is sunken down. So if you're sitting where Charlie is, it graduates up. Now, are there angles where buildings are available and to a would-be assassin? The answer, unfortunately, is yes. I can tell you just sitting there, and again, maybe it's the emotion of it and not looking or expecting it, it seemed like the shot was closer and that it was more direct.
And Jason Chaffetz there, shaken up, but available to speak with us. I also want to play one more thing that's getting a lot of attention on X and elsewhere. This is Matthew Dowd over at MSNBC and his reaction earlier.
He's been one of the most divisive, especially divisive younger figures in this, who is constantly sort of pushing this sort of hate speech or sort of aimed at.
See, there he goes. There they go. Saying something that is painfully so untruth. That's why they're never going. Listen to me. If you're on the left and you would love to see the left-wing party get back, you got to get rid of people like that. White people talking, trying to use the race card, trying to turn his speech into hate speech, when the fact is that you're looking at a man and you're trying to tell him that it's okay for another man to say he's a woman and get into women's sports and whoop their asses and take all their gold and silver. This is the same people that are trying to make me think that this man is a woman. And that is simply, got a Johnson longer than mine, go sit there and walk up into a girl's bathroom and beat the hell out of them in a boxing match. In any sport, they're mashing them. They're taking all their gold and silver because I identify my feelings, because they could not successfully take on another man. So they decided to say, well, since it became so taboo for Democrats to stand behind the African Americans, that you can't keep crying over spilt milk on that bullshit no more, because they ain't none of them picked a piece of cotton in their life that's alive now. Maybe 200 years ago, when 1,346 of them owned slavery, that had over 40,000 slaves under their, out of the 1,300 black slave owners, out of that 1% of people that own slaves in the United States. Think about this. That's how backwards this crap is. And for him to say something like that about Kirk, you guys look at this. We got 2,313 people that freaking voted. They voted. It's 70. It is Charlie Kirk a good man? 77% said yes. Out of all these people that came in here. Okay? I'm just saying.
And I always go back to hateful thoughts lead to hateful words, which then lead to
That message is for them. You should be quit deflecting and keep that to yourself. Tell your people so you guys can win a freaking a seat back in 2026. Because the only seat that I see is the the mayor spot, Zanduli or whatever his name is. I don't even know his name. I hope he wins so to teach America a lesson. The biggest city in the United States goes communist. And watch how fast things go crazy. look, man, I'm just, it's just ridiculous.
Everybody, Hitler and Nazis, and
I mean, let's just listen
sort
to
of
it.
pushing this sort of hate speech or sort of aimed at certain groups. And I always go back to hateful thoughts lead to hateful words, which then lead to hateful actions.
Greg, got the comment.
well, I mean, he's right for the wrong reasons. I mean,
Hey,
hateful
see what I'm
words do
saying?
lead to hateful actions, and it was his side that had pretty much ran the gamut, calling everybody Hitler and Nazis, and instead of viewing people as wrong, viewing them as evil. I think that Matthew Dowd is I won't criticize him because I think there's something wrong with him. I feel like it is such a strange thing to say when somebody is shot and near death. He said it before he was confirmed death. Like what is going on in that man's head? It's interesting. We don't know who did this, but I do know it doesn't help the left, which makes me think, is it the left? I don't know. We don't know, but it feels professional. That's all it feels to me. You know.
Greg, you asked me a question about a message. I think I'm not naive enough to think there's not something here, but I view it. The message I take from it is that if you have a view that might be the minority in some place, and you're trying to share your view, and Charlie had a minority view, as relates to his views. And then he helped enliven and awaken a group of people who shared his view, that they're going to be. We are almost embracing and okaying. We're not, but society is, and our culture is. There's no decency. There's an embrace of violence, and there's almost a justification. I know Matthew. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt, but whatever. If he felt that he shouldn't have said that at that moment, this is not the time to be talking about.
Thank you, reality cards.
There's a serious problem.
This is not. I think even some of the conversation that's probably going to be had over the next 24 hours about I just think this is not the moment. We need to get the facts. We need to capture this guy. I think Jesse is right.
Hey, it's good to see you, deplorable garbage.
This guy's on the loose, and we don't know if it's a team of people or what it might be. So I'm hoping that, and then we can have that conversation about who's at fault and whose side is.
My favorite analysis, Harold, came from MSNBC when they said it could have been a supporter shooting a gun off in celebration.
From 200 yards.
Yes.
Ethan, you know what, man? I want to stop and I want to read what you said. I think that's very important. Your opinion is very important. This is what Ethan Mitchell said. Whether I agree with what he said, I am always willing to hear someone and respect what they have to say. Even when I disagree, I found it what'd that say? Apparent. I would never wish death or harm on any person. Thank you. Thank you for being normal. Thank you for showing what the average American value should be. Because that's exactly what I'm looking for. And according to my poll that I took here, 2,418 people has voted, and 77% of these people have said yes. So you know what that means to me? When I'm on the biggest liberal censorship social media censored media in the world, which is YouTube. Trust me, it's censored. And you hear something like that, okay? They have been trying to get rid of this guy. And that thought process, they just couldn't do it. They've been trying to force things down our throat like Hitler did. Hitler literally tried to extinct through genocide of people. But it's not the people. It's what they believe. It's their faith that they're after. It's their ideology.
It's like, why can't you just say, we don't know when we're looking for more, you might have
Yeah.
more information
I
about
have
it.
no idea.
Let's get one more thought from Jesse here, and then we'll go to Charlie Hurt and take it around the table before we end.
Well, Dowd should be fired immediately. I expect him to be terminated within 24 hours. You can't say Charlie deserved to die. Just
Yeah.
can't say that. And I hope he loses his job. It's dangerous, Greg. That's the message. It's dangerous to open your mouth, so shut it. That's the message they're sending. And they usually send messages to the politicians, whether it's Trump, JFK, Reagan, whatever. Or John Lennon, take a shot at the biggest star in the world. And I'm not saying they took a shot at Charlie because I'm lowering his status. They took a shot at Charlie to tell you it's dangerous to speak your mind.
Yes.
I agree.
And that's the message. And you can either take that message
Jesus.
and go crawl into a corner and shut up, or you could do what Charlie would want to do and speak louder.
No, the
and
shooter has
speak
not been
even more
caught.
clear to more people as much as you possibly can. And never be afraid to say what's in your heart. And get everybody else saying what you believe, because that's what this country
Let me
is
fast
founded
forward
on.
this. Let's see what they got so far here. Okay, so at 6 here, I think.
Get more information here. I agree with you. I think it's very scary to think that this person might have gotten away, that they had it planned. And I'm also hearing from friends who have college-age students across the board, as Charlie Hurt was just saying. You're saying, like, Charlie Kirk's life mattered big
Man.
time. And our prayers are with Charlie Kirk, his family, and we will turn it over to Brett Baer of Special Report. Charlie Kirk, may he rest in peace.
Good evening. Welcome to Washington. I'm Brett Baer. Breaking tonight, political discourse once again turning to political violence in America with deadly consequences. Conservative commentator Charlie Kirk was killed today in a shooting at a rally in Utah. Initial reports that a suspect was in custody were later dismissed.
Kirky,
Federal
what's up,
agents
man? Good to
are
see
now
you.
actively engaged in a search and are telling residents to shelter in place. Kirk was kicking off his American comeback tour at Utah Valley University in Orem, about 40 miles from Salt Lake City. Witnesses say a shot rang out and Kirk fell backward. He was immediately attended to and taken to a nearby hospital. About an hour ago, President Trump posted that Charlie Kirk had died. He was 31 years old and leaves behind a wife and 2 children. Kirk was the founder and president of Turning Point USA, an enormously popular national student movement. He used his open public events by saying, "If you disagree with me, move to the front of the line." Chief Correspondent Jonathan Hunt reports tonight from Los Angeles with what we know at this hour. Good evening, Jonathan.
Good evening, Brett. Terrible scenes today on the campus of Utah Valley University in Orem, Utah, just about 30 minutes or so south of Salt Lake City. The scene on the right you're looking at there, are the probably 2,000 or so people who had turned out to watch and listen to Charlie Kirk at the campus in the Sorensen Plaza, which is right in the center of that campus. We are not, for very obvious reasons, going to show our viewers the moment that Charlie Kirk was shot, but we should explain what happened. He is sitting under that small tent you see in the picture. He is addressing members of the crowd. He is engaged in conversation with one questioner, and then you hear one shot ring out. It appears to be from a high-powered rifle. It appears to have been fired from a distance. We see in the video Charlie Kirk hit. His right hand goes up to the left side of his neck, and you see a gush of blood. The next thing we have seen on video is Charlie Kirk being carried away by people who appear to be a non-uniformed private security, carrying him away urgently, obviously. Now, it is interesting to note that from eyewitnesses and from Jason Chaffetz, for instance, who was there on campus telling us today, there was very little security overall. I counted perhaps 2 or 3 security personnel standing right in front of that tent looking out at the crowd. You can see a couple of them there. But witnesses said there was very little uniformed security presence. Listen here to one of those eyewitnesses.
Say cops above on the walkways who were stopping what I assume people from throwing stuff down towards him. So I wonder why there wasn't any level of security taken to stop people around, like in front of him or anything like that.
So you didn't see any true security measures other than maybe from afar, is that correct?
It was just, there was not a lot of cops there. I've seen more cops at UVU during sporting events.
Now, as for the shooter, Brett, that person is still at large at this moment, as we understand it. We are awaiting a press conference with local and state officials and law enforcement agencies. In the next few minutes, we are told, you can see that bottom right of your screen, the scene there, as we wait for that. But we are told right now that a suspect is still at large. As you mentioned, one person was seen being taken into custody by police officers on that campus in the aftermath of the shooting. That person, an elderly gentleman, as we understand it, has been released and had nothing whatsoever to do with this shooting. So an urgent manhunt underway, obviously now, local police involved. The FBI, Kash Patel, has confirmed are on scene and heavily involved in the investigation. And we also have reporting that agents from Homeland Security investigations are also on scene.
Isn't that
right
terrible,
now. What
Timothy?
they will be doing, obviously, Brett, is sweeping the entire campus.
What's up, Mountain Girl?
Obviously, for a
Good to see ya.
weapon. We don't understand that one has been found as yet. They'll also be looking in the parking lot of the campus there, all the parking
Exactly.
lots. What we often see in these situations is everybody clears out. There may be one vehicle still left there unattended to. That is something, obviously, that law enforcement would then key in on, taking a look at that vehicle, if there is such a thing in this instance. I also want to point out where that is. Orem is south of Salt Lake City. Brett, as I mentioned, I know the area well. We have a lot of family in Provo, which is right next door to Orem's site of BYU. You can be up in the Uinta Mountains, the huge wilderness of the Uintas, within about 10 to 15 minutes driving from that campus. So this is clearly a very urgent manhunt to track down the person who killed Charlie Kirk. Brett?
We're going to stay on that and bring you any live updates from law enforcement across the board. Jonathan, thank you.
Sure.
Wow. It's just like, I mean, you know, when Ozzy died, man, that was well expected, you know. Now, when Michael Jackson died, I was looking at like Ozzy, and I'm like, how did Michael Jackson die before Ozzy? Right? It's like, that's strange to me. I don't know what you guys think. Maybe I should do a poll on it. The heck is wrong with this? 1, 2, and 3. There we go. Car thief, it's not finished, my brother. They just woke up a sleeping giant. They screwed up, man. There's things going to come out of this that are going to be so ugly and so nasty. And it's even going to cause the left to even be worse. And go vote for her, Jim. All right, Root. Good. Yeah, I know. You're about probably the 80th guy an hour that said it. I don't know if that's true or not, but a lot of people's been saying that. Yeah, and most people that say fascists are fascists. That's what gets me. I don't know if you are or not. I don't know you from Adam. So, see, deplorable. You see, the stuff that you're seeing. You and I talked about this when you first met, and see, you know how I'm cut, you know, and this is why I don't pick a side, even though one side is greater than the other of the two evils. There's just not a damn thing that justifies the type of disrespect and murder and mayhem that they're all all responsible for. Every single one of these lanes are responsible for these people. They're responsible. All 435 people in Congress, all 100 people in the Senate, and the 2 people in the White House. Every 4 years go through the same shit.
Kirk. Good evening, Mark.
Brett, good evening to you. Charlie Kirk's death is being called a watershed moment or even a turning point for the country. The 31-year-old political activist had a massive following, both online and in the corridors of power.
They made a mortar out of him, I'll tell you that.
Before becoming a household name in conservative politics, Charlie Kirk was a teenager growing up in the Chicago suburbs. He told the Daily Caller in 2019 he knew early on politics mattered.
I was always naturally conservative, loved America, loved the values that our country stood for, and I never understood why you'd want to deviate from that.
Kirk thought he'd end up at West Point, the Army's military academy, but after being denied admission, he chose to start something for himself.
It's that old adage, one door closes, another door opens, of course. It's correct.
In summer 2012, Turning Point USA was born. What started small later became a political juggernaut, a conservative youth activist organization now operating on 3,500 high school and college campuses. Kirk explained what drove him in his first Fox appearance 13 years ago.
A lot of kids are feeling the effects of what we like to call, with the Washington economy, with a lot of debt, plummeting small business, with higher regulation and high tax.
I got a question for the chat. How many murders were there on January 6th? What was the main murder? Anybody remember it? Come on, I want people to answer me. Man, I got like 500. I'm skipping a bunch of stuff. Tell me what it was. There you go. Ashley Babbitt. It was a pig that shot her in the face. Now, that old twisted sister bullshit that dope fiend move that dude just pulled way back here, like on January 6th, you are part of the problem inside of America. You are listening to propaganda, and even though Donald Trump is a narcissistic piece of shit, in my opinion, I would still vote for him again over what you have to offer or anything your side has to offer. You have no leadership. None of you will ever see the White House for at least another 20 years. You've made that very clear. You're going to have to be the Hitler that you really are to get it back. You're going to have to take it. You see what I'm saying now? We're going to prove to the world who you really are, and so are you. You're willing to throw the baby out with the bathwater. That's the problem with you people. You people have always think that it's okay for you. Do what you're told, and it's rules for thee and not for me. You are the true sovereign citizens that are. It is in all these blue cities in the red states are the ones that have the murder capitals of the world, and they constantly blame people and try to run that shit parallel and conflate that information and then turn around and perpetrate the fraud like walking out like they just did a mic drop. And because there's 20 retards to every smart or half somebody that's got half a brain, okay? It is what it is. What's understood don't need to be explained, right? Give me a 1 if you agree with me. Let me see them ones.
Evolved, Turning Point USA grew, so did its influence. The AP writing Turning Point events became more ornate, taking on a nightclub atmosphere with strobe lights, pyrotechnics, and thousands of young conservatives in attendance. Kirk endorsed then-candidate Donald Trump in 2016 and later worked to re-elect him in 2020.
I believe it's imperative we get the president reelected. In fact, I think he's going to get reelected.
As Trump later regrouped for 2024, Kirk continued to build an empire and a family. He married his wife, Erica, in 2021 and later became a dad of 2. Trump himself thanked Kirk for staying loyal amid a year of chaos.
And I want to express my tremendous gratitude to Charlie Kirk. He's really an amazing guy.
With Trump now back in power, Kirk remained active, speaking out constantly about the conservative movement.
There's a revival happening in this country right now.
Tonight, tributes continue to pour in for a man many believe helped change the course of U.S. political history. And those tributes continue to pour in from all over the world. Late today, we heard from House Speaker Mike Johnson, who urged leaders from both parties and everyone who has political or social influence to condemn violence and vow to settle disagreements.
And everybody has
Mark Meredith, thank you.
their opinions,
Just a few moments
and I
ago
give it
before
to
the
you
show,
all as well.
I talked to the President of the United States.
So
on the
half
phone.
of people agreed with me,
He
half of
obviously
them didn't.
already posted, on
Well,
Truth
what happened
Social.
to
He
the
had
just
said
under
several things
3,000
but
people
did
that
wanna
voted?
pass on
Where'd they
something
go?
else, publicly, and said I could pass this on. Quote, all of this violence cannot happen. Charlie Kirk was such an amazing guy. He really captured the youth.
Yes, he
the
was.
imagination of the youth.
1993 to
unbelievable
2025.
He really convinced millions and millions of young people that MAGA was the way to go. Today is so sad. He was an amazing person who was not afraid to talk to and confront the other side. Just talk to them, debate them, and explain why they were wrong and MAGA was right. Nobody was better. It's such a tragic day. Again, that's President Trump just moments ago before the show. Joining us now, Laura Ingraham of the Ingraham Angle on set. Laura, this is a tough day for all of us. You knew Charlie really well. Your thoughts?
Yeah, well, Brett, you came into my office about, 20 minutes ago, and I was bawling, and so many of us are just beyond devastated, as I know you are. But what I want to say tonight is what he captured, which is so easy to not capture and not be about in these very cynical days where it seems like politics is always so acrimonious, there's so much uncivil discourse. Charlie was an eternal optimist. He looked at the world as it was. He wasn't an idealist, but he looked at the world as it was. But he always said, no. These young people mean business, and they are on fire with
Thought
their
you had one.
returning to family, becoming more serious about what America is now and what she should be in the future. So he was on our show a couple nights ago, and he and I were just
Literally
texting.
just two
nights ago, and he and I were just texting yesterday, just laughing about something. And he said, look, well, this is great news out there. I mean, people can't be so down all the time. The pursuit of happiness means something in America. And so at this moment, where I can't even say was, like he was. How are we even saying that tonight? And President Trump is devastated as well because other than Trump,
my channel, I should be able to.
I don't know who else captures the spirit of this moment in history for young people more than Charlie Kirk did. The word irreplaceable is batted around a lot. he is irreplaceable. There's no one else like him.
You know, we have kids, teenage years, and they knew Charlie Kirk because they saw these things pop up on their feeds where he would engage, not in a really negative
Weird.
way.
It's not
No.
let me give
If
you
disagree with me,
a wrench.
come up here, talk to me,
For
and
some
tell me
reason.
why. And I'm going to talk to you about why I think you're wrong. I appreciate what you're saying,
okay.
but here's why I think you're wrong.
And he
Okay.
was a true evangelist that way. An evangelist is someone who doesn't wag fingers and just end acrimoniously. He wanted to pull people in with facts and some good humor. And sometimes it got heated, and he didn't shy away from that. But I remember the first time I met him. I'm going to share a little bit about this on the angle as well. But the first time I met him, I believe
Just
he was
remember,
19, I think
man,
it was 2013.
give people free speech,
He was
man.
in Florida. He was raising money for this. I said, "Who is this kid?" I think our mutual friend Gay Gaines.
You know what I
Foster
expect.
Freeze, Lynn Freeze. They were all raising money for this young kid. I said, "Who is this kid?" Well, he's 18. He's not going to college, but he thinks he could do a lot for young people and young. I remember meeting him, thinking, "This kid's 18. I mean, I want him to work for me." He was incredible then. And I watched him become a teenager, from a young man into a father and a husband. And Charlie Kirk loved his family. He loved his friends. He loved his country. But he didn't just love them. He fought for them. And I think tonight he would want everybody who watched those videos, my sons, my daughter Maria in Texas A&M, they're all crying there
I
tonight.
agree.
They would want those young people to keep his optimism, keep the fight, and don't stop. That's what he would want tonight.
Yeah, and focus on those videos and not the videos that are surfacing and all over the internet about these last moments. You know,
That
you
poor
mentioned
man.
his
Look at
ability to
look
not
at
only
his
touch
baby,
the
man.
youth, but also this amazing network of fundraising that changed the dynamic. I mean, it literally turned the tide in the Republican Party.
Yeah, I went back and was looking at my texts, literally bawling this afternoon with him, going back to 2018 and 2017 and 2016. And Charlie was just on it. Like, he
You see what
said
CNN's
something
saying.
happening. I'm in Pennsylvania. I'm in Minnesota. I remember he's in Minnesota.
I mean, they're all owned by the same
Arizona's in
company.
play.
You know what
He
I'm
was-
saying?
He had his finger on the pulse of everything.
You don't know that.
And
You definitely don't understand the wing of the same bird theory either.
willing to engage with people in public was a threat. It was a threat to the left's hold on cultural power and political power, and they decided to take him out. John and Rich, thank you. Here with me with reaction, Ari Fleischer, former White House press secretary, Fox News contributor, and Graham Allen, former Turning Point USA contributor, both very close friends with Charlie. Graham, you were actually filing for Charlie.
Somebody needs to step up.
On his podcast tonight. As he was
Somebody
doing
needs to
his
step
tour,
up and do
he
it
was so
again.
excited about this tour.
Honestly.
I don't even know. Can't even imagine what you're thinking, Graham.
It was a situation that I never thought that I would have to be in. It's a situation
Hold up.
that it's
Governor
not fair
Cox is
that we're here. First of
speaking
all, I just
here.
want to say that my prayers are
speaking out about the killing of conservative leader Charlie Kirk today. We've seen reactions from both parties and the very top of our political universe. The president writing, "No one understood or had the heart of the youth better than Charlie," in a post that effectively confirmed the killing, that he had died. Former President Obama saying this kind of despicable violence has no place in our democracy. California Governor.
Why do they keep
Gavin
using democracy, guys? Why do people keep using democracy in this republic we live in? I don't understand why they keep deferring the representation of this country and the authority that it holds, that delegates that power of our sovereignty. It doesn't go to democracy. It goes to the republic for which it stands. One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We were taught that since we were boogers.
I'm a Democrat, posting the attack on Charlie Kirk.
Always
is
trying to
disgusting,
change
vile, and
something.
reprehensible in the U.S. We must reject political violence in every form. We will be continuing to cover
Amen.
this story tonight on MSNBC.
This
The
is
special
MSNBC.
coverage continues with our colleague Chris Hayes just after this break.
All right, let's see. We go back. Got it on multi-view, so. What the heck?
Active monitoring, like us. The AI camera alerts simply save agents before a crime can even start.
And there's an anti-theft guarantee.
Simply
That Charlie had.
stops crime before it starts.
I think there's something we can all do. Lectures. And they should welcome conservative speakers to their campuses. They need to be the place that diverts the flow that our country is currently on. We cannot have these splits where colleges are no-go zones for conservatives and the administrations are just fine with that. They should seize this moment, announce the Charlie Kirk lecture series, welcome at every campus across America leading conservative speakers, and that is something that Charlie would welcome. That would be him breaking through to everybody in America everywhere.
Now, that is a beautiful and brilliant idea, and we're going to get that out there. Ari, Graham, both of you, thank you very, very much.
We need to have more courage, get out into the public square, debate the issues, and get people involved. And do not let your school boards run wild, and stay active. Don't forget to vote and challenge the principals.
2012, was he 19, 18? Senator Bernie Moreno is here with us. Senator Charlie is one of your earliest endorsers. How did that impact your campaign? I know you're devastated, as we all are, and thank you for coming over tonight.
Yeah, Laura, I actually got to be honest, probably like a lot of people who knew Charlie, I don't think I've processed it completely. I met him as he was a kid. He was a kid that came to see me. He had this big idea that he was going to transform young people, make them engage in the future of this country. And I got the opportunity to see him grow this little idea into this incredible organization.
And I've been on here for 3 hours, man.
You can honestly say he changed this country. And what he brought to us is this idea that we can debate ideas. That it's actually okay
man.
That we have different points of view. But Republicans and conservatives...
On ending that note, we all have different points of view. We all have a duty and a responsibility in this country to make sure its core values stands tall in a very diverse, very humbled, diverse way. And we need to come together, no disrespecting one another. Disrespect, there's no room for disrespect. You could vote for who you want to vote for, but in my opinion, I would keep your politics out of it and stick with the facts. Even though Charlie was very political with MAGA, it's his ideology that got him killed. And I'm not trying to quench that. You could speak on it. I think people need to speak more on it now more than ever. But when you're remembering one thing, we the people. We, not democracy. Are you hearing me? I'm telling you, as an individual American, a free-thinking individual American, I'm telling you, you are an individual with constitutional rights. We are a constitutional republic that has constitutional law, that it's over 250 years old, and we need to respect it, and we need to keep it and hold it. In your left should be your Bible, to your heart, whatever your religion is, and your right should be your family, holding it together while taking care of your responsibilities and your financial responsibilities. You should be doing that as a man. And if you're not, I don't know what to say, man. Because I'm not trying to be negative right now. I'm not trying to blame you for the downfall of this country. I'm trying to get you to wake up and smell the crap that some of these people are dishing out. And it's just not fair for a man to his life because of his opinion and what he believed in. All right, guys. You guys have a great night, man. I've had plenty of views. I had a poll, people, a total of 3,147 people voted. And as you can see, the poll is over. Well, how do I do that? What do I do with it? Okay, the poll is over. 3,000. It keeps going up as we go on. 155. So just almost just under 3.2 people that, and I wish they would have subscribed because I'd be over 23,000. But anyway, God bless y'all, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And you see that link in there right there where it says Wolverine Transparency? Hit that link, subscribe to it, and hit all. God bless. I'm back quiet reading the